All right, so there's been a lot of talk about this doorway that was found by the Curiosity Rover on Sol 3466. There's been a lot of questions whether this doorway is natural or is it an artificial structure? Somebody built it, somebody constructed it. Well, what a lot of people don't know is that the Curiosity Rover also photographed this doorway on Sol 3465, and we get to see it at the other angle. And the other angle is no less impressive than on 3466, the picture that everyone's familiar with. We also have one more doorway that I'm going to show you when we get into the models and into the images. So let's go on in and take a look and see what these things look like. All right, and welcome back to the Inhabitmars channel. Today we are going to take a look at this Gigapan by Neville Thompson, and then we've got two by Joe White that we want to look at. I'm going to show you this doorway from a couple of different angles, and then I'm going to show you another doorway that was filmed a few days before both of these in the same area. So hang in there for the end, because I'm going to show this to you, and then we're just going to look at the model of the other doorway because I've already shown this one. Go ahead and make sure you check out that last video. All right, so here we go. This is the Gigapan that everybody's talking about, and this doorway is located right here. So here we are, and I'm just going to slowly zoom in so you can see this. All right. So what we talked about in the last video was this right here looks like a post going up. This is the post. This is the front side that would be facing you. This is the side of it that would be facing the other post on the other side. And I know you say, what post? Well, I will show you in the other Gigapan. But there's this edge right here. You can see that dividing this post from this wall. Now, I haven't done anything. This is the Gigapan, and you can see that that wall is white, very white. All right. In fact, it's the same color or a similar color to this post on the front. But when you enhance the image, now this does come out a little whiter, and this one just a little darker. So there is some difference in the material. This is probably a wooden post, or it could be rock, but it's got some very rough edges to it. It actually looks like decaying wood, slightly decaying wood. All right. So the other thing I want to talk about is this line that goes back here, goes all the way back to here, comes straight down. All right. You can see, let me move this up a little bit, where the line comes back to the front. And like I say, it came straight down here and it goes across. All right. It's very smooth on top here. So if this is a natural structure and not constructed, it's pretty smooth walls in here. In fact, this crack goes down this wall and actually comes across this back wall. It continues across the back wall. This is probably a stress fracture from the weight of all the rock being piled on top of it. And it's got this canopy here. If you haven't checked out my last video on this, I go into this in a lot more detail. All right, so let's take a look at this from another angle. All right, so this Gigapan was done from the day before. All right, we're still looking at the same structure, which is right here, But now we're looking at it. In the first one, the rover was over here to the right. This time, the rover is over here to the left. So the rover is moving this way across. All right? And here is this doorway from a different angle. Now I'm going to go ahead and full screen this. And this one, like I say, is by Joe White over at ArtAlienTV. And I will leave a link to his videos and the Gigapans and Neville Thompson's Gigapan. But here we go. So this is not quite as clear. So this is that rock that I talked about last time. It's actually extruded out to the right and overhangs this rock right here. And this time you can see this left edge going down. We can see that it's raised up above this one. All right. So this was maybe for protection from the wind or something like that. And I said in the last video that this wall came out at an angle. Well, in this Gigapan, we can see just how much this wall comes out. Now, as you can see, this was taken at a different time of day, and our shadow is actually now in front of it, so it's a little harder to see in here. But here is this post right here. You can see it comes across. This part would be facing you. Then it turns a 90-degree angle and goes back to here. That's the part that's facing the other one, the other post. And here's the line going up. See it? Goes up. And either it ends right here or we lose it right here. It's hard to tell. But that is the post on this side. And you can see that this wall is just as smooth as that other wall. And it actually goes back, according to what we're seeing at the roof here. This line at the roof, it actually goes back straight and makes a almost perfect cube. So that's that doorway. And there's been a lot of talk and a lot of controversy about it, but I believe that this is something that's carved. I would really like for someone to be able to explain to me scientifically how this would form geologically. All right, but that's that one right there. And so there's some other stuff. In the last video we talked about this, which I call the Christmas tree. This is right here. We see it at a slightly different angle, but we can see it still looks the same. You can see the collapse part of this roof right here, where all this stuff collapsed down when this fell back, or I think it was sitting up here, and it looks like it's fallen backwards. So that's what this looks like from this angle. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to show you one more that is no less fascinating. All right, so this image was taken 3 days prior, still in the Mirador Butte region of Mount Sharp, and we have yet another doorway. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and full screen this, and let's zoom in and take a look at this doorway. All right. Here's the doorway right here. And here is the door that I believe closes. This opens and closes for whatever reason. Let people out, let some ventilation out, or let some ventilation in, I should say. And take a look at the shape of this thing. I don't think this is just a regular rock. This comes straight across here. It's got this beveled edge right here, and then turns almost 90 degrees down, comes straight across, and then goes back up. And by the way, this edge and this edge actually come down into a slight V that follows this. See how this interior wall actually comes inward a little bit and then down? And then there's an edge to this, and I can't get in any closer, I'm sorry, right here where this top piece is actually extruded outward and extruded downward in the front. Right here, this is extruded past this body part, and it's like a plate that's on top of this. But you can see this actually comes down into a wedge shape till we lose it behind this rock. This part comes back all the way to here, and then we lose it right there, where it either goes inside or it's flat against this back part. Then, like I say, this would close and this would be down on this ground, and this ground is very smooth. In fact, the texture is slightly different than this rock around it. This might be a concrete pad. Where this closes down, there's a piece of concrete right here, and then the rest of this is it looks like rock. All right, now I've got a little animation I want to show you, just to show you that how this opens and closes. And the aspect ratio is going to be just slightly off when you close it down, because I can't change the aspect ratio of the image, but at least you'll be able to get a good look and see how this all fits in when it closes down. So let me show you that animation now. All right, so I don't know if anybody else has noticed this one. I know a lot of focus has been on that other doorway, but I find this one at least as impressive and maybe a little bit more impressive. Let's go into the model real quick and take a look at this. And I'll actually, in the model, I'll be able to show you this from a different angle. Now, I didn't put any of the actual texture on it. I just put some quick textures on it. This is a quick model. So let's take a look at that and see what it looks like. All right, so here's the same image in Blender, and the doorway's right here. All I did was add a little contrast to the image, put a little color in it so it looks a little better, and then, of course, I modeled everything on top. Now, once again, the textures that I put on it are not the actual rock texture like I used in the last video, but they're temporary textures just to be able to see everything and know what it looks like. But this is just a quick model. I just want to show this so we can get this video out. So let's turn on our models. There we go. And this is going up that hillside, and our doorway is right here. Now, I don't know if it's metal. It kind of looks like metal, but I don't know what the material actually is. And I just want to illustrate. This is the doorway right here, and we're looking inside of this cave right here, which I imagine there's an opening. There are these cutouts that we definitely can see, and it seems to go back into this cave. All right, but this is how the doorway rotates. It rotates down like this and will close. All right, and it may be a little tighter and closer in here, but this is just to illustrate how that would look when it's closed. And if it does have the rock texture on it, you probably wouldn't even notice this, but it actually kind of looked like it was reflective, like metal. So that's kind of how I modeled it. And let's open it back up. Okay, there we go. So it would open and close just like this. All right. So there you are. That's what that piece looks like. Like I say, it might be a little wider on the front, or these may be closer together. But I don't know what the size is. Hopefully Joe White over at ArtAlienTV can give us a size on that. Maybe it's just as small as the other doorway. Maybe it's bigger. I really don't know. But I can tell you the shape it had, and that's basically the shape it had. All right. So there we go. That was just a quick video. How long? You guys have a great day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we shall see you on the next video.